So, The Sims, that life simulation video game, one of the most popular video games of all time, and one video game I've been begging to have online and multiplayer in because I like to play it with friends. I don't like to play it by myself, but I love The Sims games. It is being turned into a film, and I have no idea how that's going to work, but it is going to be directed by the director of Loki season 1, and we know how great that was. She's also going to write the film as well. That's Kate Herron. Margot Robbie and her production company, which is called Luckychap, or as I like to call it, Nayan, they're going to be producing the film.
I just clicked.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, The Sims being a live-action movie coming from that kind of video game, it shares similarities to Barbie. There's no question about that. Perhaps that's why Margot Robbie and her team are behind this. But I think it shares a little bit more similarities with the Lego movies. I mean, Barbie has defined characters. Barbie, Ken, all that kind of stuff. Lego movie, it's not really character-based unless it's pulling in, Lego Batman or Superman and stuff like that. But the main character is just a random Lego figure. But Nayan, how does The Sims look to you in your mind on how it would be as a film?
I have no idea. It's an interesting video game to be adapted into a film. Because like you said, there's not really any key characters or story with The Sims. It's just you create your own avatar and basically it's a second life pretty much. So who knows what they're going to do. But I mean, like you mentioned with the Lego movie, that had no established characters outside of the superhero ones, so maybe they might focus on one core character and go from there, or maybe it might be a real life human that sets up their own avatar and then the film just translates into The Sims and blurs the reality for that real life character, whether what's real or what's not. I've played the games a bit. It's not quite...
That surprises me.
Shut up. It's not my cup of tea. It's not a game that I could heavily get into. So I'm not overly excited for this, but I am interested in that Margot Robbie's production company is going to be behind this, and I'm sure... and the Loki director, of course. So I think we definitely have a similar hit, similar to Barbie on our hands, I mean, we've got Minecraft that's going to blow everyone's expectations next year in regards to box office, and I'm sure The Sims will do just the same because that's a widely popular gaming franchise as well. But yeah, just have to wait for more details to come out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's funny you mentioned Minecraft because Minecraft is live action, which again makes no sense. I have no idea how this can look or feel since Minecraft is distinctly animated because of the blocks. Yeah. Unless they got, best production design kind of set design where they chop up the New Zealand hills into blocks, and then they operate that way. I would love that. But I doubt they're going to go to the extra effort for Minecraft. That's just my prediction there. But yeah, man, I'm like you. I don't know how this is going to go. I've logged shamelessly a lot of time into Sims. I love The Sims. Just because when life gets you down, you just run to the life that you want, and that is in The Sims. Get money hacks. You can't do that in the real world, but you can do it in The Sims. But as besides the point, how this can work, I mean, what would you prefer? Would you prefer it to be just entirely in The Sims world, or would you like it to interchange with like a real life human absorbing their life into this game and not living in the real world? How would you want the movie to go?
Probably the balance between real and fake. The way I see this going is exactly like Barbie. You got Barbie Land, so I'll just refer Barbie Land as Sims Land, where it's a virtual world, and you got the real world. And I feel that a character in the real world is going to be creating their own avatar in The Sims, and then eventually the film will take place in The Sims, and the character is feeling like as if they're going to be living or having a better life in The Sims world than they do in real life. I feel it's going to be one of those types of movies, and I'm sure that there'll be some sort of moral story at the end of it, for sure. But
yeah, well, I guess the moral story would have to be, using games as an escapist tool. Yeah. To escape from the real world, to jump into a reality that you have more control over, per se, because you know, you go through Barbie and it has a lot of like feminist background to it and it has a lot of history that it can use and it can really target, you know, women and being a woman, all that kind of stuff. While The Sims is just random characters. So it would have to be a more universal, I guess, hook to it in terms of people, everybody being able to escape their real life to go to one in The Sims. And I think that is probably where it can go best of all. We've heard stuff on the internet recently about how it could be very similar to The Truman Show.
Yeah.
But then that would imply that a sim is just discovering itself and it's like realizing that it's stuck there. I don't know how that would work.
Or
but,
the sim is actually human, but they think they're in a video game, and then they find out that it's actually real world. But then that's just a modern day Truman Show.
But I mean, like, it's very easy for me to be against this just because I can't see how it could become something. But then you look at stuff like Barbie and Lego Movie and perhaps Minecraft coming out next year. You know, we never knew what those movies would turn out like. I always thought Lego Movie was like, oh, this is dumb. How can it work? It's stupid, and it turned out to be like one of the best animated films of the 2010s. You know, so
and spawned a whole franchise too.
Exactly, which they've just stopped for some reason. But yeah, I think there is potential in this, and I think you got a good director. And honestly, if Margot Robbie's backing it, I'm backing it. I think that's just, she picks really good stuff. She's very good at what she does. Her production company, they backed Barbie, obviously, and that turned out great, both commercially and reception-wise. But they also supported Saltburn, you know, the memeable R-rated movie, whatever we want to call it. Yeah, it supported that one, and sure, that has its divisive nature to it, but it's a bold movie to be a part of and to back, which Luckychap, her company, did. So I'm on board. I just need to see something from it to really get excited. Are you similar in that respect?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, yeah, I guess this is just the first stage. I've just announced this, but I'm sure once we get castings and a bit more plot details, I think that's when the gears will start kicking in, I reckon.
Yeah, and one final question before we move on to our next topic. Margot Robbie, do you want her to be front and center leading this film, or should someone else kind of take this one?
Someone else take this one. Otherwise, it's just going to be compared to Barbie so much. So.
Yeah, completely agree. I mean,
and I'm pretty sure
Chris Pratt in a lead role.
I'm pretty sure Margot Robbie said that she wants to take a break from acting. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure she said that she wanted to focus on the producing side for a bit. So maybe this is her step into that.
That would be cool, yeah. I think she could. I think she's really going to flourish as a producer. Just she knows her stuff. She knows what people want and how to make great films and what films are going to be great. I think so. I got a lot of faith in her, and I have a decent amount of faith in this movie. And I'm just glad that Kate Herron is going to get a chance to produce something like, or direct something like this, because Loki season 1 is so good amongst the shit of the MCU that we've had in Phase 4. So I'm glad she gets the opportunity to do something here.
For sure.
Yeah.